Yo, so we all know the saying, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. But have you ever thought about whether too much of a bad thing can be a good thing? And this is what I want to talk about in today's video because I think this is a really interesting way of reshaping your negative habits. And it's no secret that the root cause of all self improvement journeys is an insufficiency and often is a feeling of getting fed up with doing the wrong thing all the time. You know you're doing the wrong thing, you just keep doing it. And it can be anything from excessive use of the P word, it can be excessive use of drugs, alcoholism, to, hedonistic behavior tends to be what is the root cause of this. And it's an interesting point to make about whether, if that is the root of where this comes from, whether there's something to be said about there being good in too much bad. Because if that bad has driven you to the point where you've chosen to change, it's a good thing. It has ended up being a positive influence into your life. Now, this is not me advocating that you go and do something terrible until you've done it too much and then you realize. This is me saying that when you get fed up with yourself, say we all have our personal battles with whatever it is that we overindulge in, or we do too much or do too little of. We all have our own thing, and there's no shame in it. It's an interesting way of reframing it to give yourself as much positivity and hope as you can, to look at something as too much of a bad thing can be a good thing. It shifts the power and it brings you the power, because when we're at our lows and we feel, you might have relapsed on whatever it is that you've done, and you get that feeling where you think, fucking hell, again, and you get that low, the feeling, that really low, what am I doing feeling, and that's got no power to it at all, and that makes it instantly difficult to get on the horse to improve, because you're already starting off demotivated. And it's no secret that motivation is not what you need to improve. Discipline is. But motivation is a hell of a kickstarter, and without it, you're setting yourself up from the start to be on the back foot. So if you can reframe things and go, I've done this too much and I need to change this, that's so much better and that's so much more positive for you than the castigating and the beating up that you get when you realize that you've done something wrong, you've done something too much. And as I say, it just brings you the power and it allows you to make the next move to improve. And it's something that I wanted to talk about because addiction, or rather overindulgence, has been something that's been prevalent throughout my life. And I had this conversation with a friend, and he said to me, too much of a bad thing can be a good thing. And I really wanted to share it with you because I think the more information that we can get out and the more information that people can know about how to start the journey, the better. Because people think it's such a mountain to climb for people because they're put in these positions where they're coming from a lower, not so positive place. They're starting their self improvement feeling shit, which is why they want to improve. Now, that in itself is a great fuel if you can channel it, but it's toxic, and over a long period of time, it doesn't work. It's too much negativity. So just give that some thought. Next time you do something that you regret doing, or you come to a realization that you might have been drinking too much recently, you think, oh, no, I've done this too much now. I feel bad. I've done it too much. Next time you have that sort of thought, don't be so quick to cajole yourself and hurt your own mind And just try and take a moment to appreciate this has afforded me an opportunity to grow. And that's the thing. With every negative experience, there is inevitably an opportunity to grow. Because when you're at your lowest and when you can't feel any worse than you do, you can only go up. I hope that helps.